it comes to choosing a gaming laptop, Legion, alongside Intel, who are sponsoring this video, have a different approach for the 2024 lineup. So there's the Legion Pro 7i, which is focused on packing in the big performance with up to an RTX 4090 and a top-of-the-line Intel Core i9-14900HX. But this year, there's another contender, which I personally like a lot. The Legion 7i brings a lot of what's great about the top-of-the-line 9i to a more affordable price point, and importantly for me, a thinner, more portable form factor. Speaking with the Legion team, one of the main targets that they had with this 7i was for students who need a device that can take on heavier workloads like 3D modeling, video editing, and obviously proper gaming, but can still be carried around all day long. After spending some time with the 7i, I think the Legion team have done a good job of cramming not only the power of the Intel HX processor and some proper RTX graphics in the package here, but importantly, they did it in a way where it's not an overheating mess. If you're unfamiliar with the state of laptops in 2024, especially on the gaming side, just because you see the specs on the box doesn't mean an enormous amount, because the cooling has an absolutely massive bearing on the actual performance that you get. You can get the world's highest end graphics card and CPU, but if it's not cooled correctly, you're going to be left with subpar performance and an incredibly toasty device. You need more than just cooling though, which is why the 7i does come with a very nice PureSight 3.2K panel, which kind of checks all the boxes. 165Hz refresh rate, which is plenty for gaming. It's also an accurate, vibrant display, which you can rely on for accuracy. I mean, in one word, it's pretty. In two words, it's real pretty. It also is using the newer design language, which means that it has these nice squared off sides, and they've moved a lot of the ports that used to live on the back to the side for easy access. The nice thing about this is, yes, while you're doing gaming or intensive tasks for a long period of time, you will want to use the big boy power brick that it comes with, but for everyday use, you can easily carry around the USB-C charger, and it will absolutely keep you topped off. Now, buying either of these systems, the power is absolutely one of the main strong suits. So when you equip it with up to a Core i9-14900HX, you've got some serious firepower on board. 24 cores, 8 performance, and 16 efficiency. The way to think about it is, you can certainly get good, acceptable performance out of a thin and light laptop that is going to easily fit in your bag. You're not even gonna think about it. Not a lot of people are probably cross-shopping like a thin and light and a gaming laptop. But with something specific like the 7i, which is a little bit thinner, still a 16-inch device, but still a little bit thinner and a little bit more portable, it opens up the kind of tasks that you can do in a way that it's important. I think a lot of people are gonna be much better served carrying this around for 4 years in school, as opposed to a thin and light and trying to max it at 100% all the time just to get an experience which is only a fraction of what this could deliver. Just like the Big Brother 9i is also outfitted with Lenovo's AI Engine Plus LA3 AI chip. It's a lot of buzzwords, but it enables a few main features: smart FPS, scenario detection, and smart control. It might sound like marketing, but what it's doing is constantly scanning what's on your display and tweaking the actual settings behind the scenes to make sure you're getting the best performance possible. All of that combined with up to an RTX 4070, the 7i should be able to handle pretty much any AAA game you throw at it. So jumping into a match of Fortnite, this is a good way to evaluate a few different elements of this 7i. I mean, the first and the biggest is just the display, right? So it's a PureSight display, 3.2K resolution, 165 Hz. It's kind of a do-it-all system because you've got the thinness and the portability to carry it on with you all day. You have the gaming performance with the cooling and the RGB and all the kind of the 165 Hz that you would need. But importantly, it is designed to be good for creators. So you've got like an SD card slot. You've got yourself a very color accurate display, which does make a difference, right? I mean, yes, when you're gaming, of course, you just care about the frames and the response time and everything, but having a color accurate display does make a difference even if you're just consuming content. And not to mention, this color in Glacier White looks so good. There we go. All right, that's how you beat bots with the Legion 7i. Now, when you've got a gaming laptop with some high-end components, it is going to generate heat. There's no way around that. But the way that you handle that heat can vary quite drastically. So the fact that they put so much emphasis on not only trying to improve the TDPs, but also to do it in a way which is comfortable, I appreciate. How many kills am I at right now? Am I at 6? This is a device which, depending on how you configure it, obviously can get a little bit pricey, but it is not going to break the bank. It is not going to be an insanely overkill expensive gaming laptop. And when I think about something which is easy to recommend for the long haul, you're not going to be spending time with this and thinking, oh, if only I would have got X or Y, because you're not really missing anything. Specs and gaming performance are important. I mean, we're talking about a gaming laptop here, But I like the Legion 7i because it is the overall package. I mean, it's a actually pretty decent daily driver. Sure, it's a 16-inch laptop, it's a little bit on the larger side, but there's a lot going for it. So when it comes to everyday usability, there are a couple of things I would like to see improved. So how long it takes to wake up, I think it takes a couple seconds longer than it really should. Like an Intel Core Ultra laptop tends to wake up a little bit quicker. The other thing would be a nice improvement would be the actual size of the touchpad. The touchpad itself is terrific, but this is something you're using all day, every day. I think considering this is a 16-inch laptop, it could have been a little bit on the larger side. But all this being said, these are all fairly minor things, but nonetheless areas that I do think the Legion team could improve on. Now, the cooling system is one of the things that really makes Legion laptops so compelling, because with the 7i, what they've done this year is they have two huge fans which flank what Lenovo call a hyper chamber, a sealed chamber where the laptop gathers as much heat as possible and forces it out the back. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing here. So the fans are spinning in opposite direction, which sort of concentrates the air and pushes it out. And that alone brings the chassis temperature down about 2 degrees Celsius. But it especially makes a difference on the bottom of the deck, meaning that you really shouldn't be burning your wrists or your lap. One of the things that makes that important is that the 7i is less thermally constrained compared to a lot of other gaming laptops. You're pushing up to 25 more watts of power, meaning that you get way more mileage out of that Core i9 and RTX 4070. For all of that, it weighs around 2.3 kilos or 5 pounds. That might sound like a lot, but remember, that's how much a normal non-gaming laptop weighed just a few years ago. It's very reasonable for a daily carry. If all of that is not enough for you, maybe you should go pro. If the Legion 7i is the laptop that's designed to deliver solid performance alongside portability, well, the Legion Pro 7i cranks things up to 11. More powerful GPUs with much higher TDP, up to an RTX 4090, more ports, cooling, more RGB. I mean, the Pro 7i is for gamers who do not want to compromise. You want all the performance and you want it now. And you want that performance to be awesome for years to come. Now, the lack of compromise is really a theme with this system. You've got a 240 Hz pure sight display paired with the cold front vapor cooling system, which is a ridiculous up to 250 watts of TDP in extreme mode. The word throttling is not in the dictionary or the thesaurus of the Legion Pro 7i. I mean, you pay for the specs, and with this system, you are getting every single one. The impression I get is that these Legion devices, while they aren't the flashiest, it's a forward-looking lineup. You know, like they're expanding it in a few different ways, but like at the end of the day, you're getting devices which should be reliable, which have the features, which have all of the core functionality you need that, I'll be honest, aren't always the most exciting. You know, like I think about me as a YouTuber, I'm always looking for something with 2 screens and some crazy nonsense. But like at the end of the day, what kind of gaming laptop should you purchase? One that is reasonably priced, that has tons of performance, that will last you the long term. And that's exactly what we're looking at here. Now, the Lenovo team are expanding the Legion lineup in a few different ways, right? So on the budget end, they've got their new Lock brand, but also they're expanding the Legion brand with peripherals and devices that are sort of outside that normal PC beat. It just shows that Lenovo are trying to push the gaming space forward in a different way than other manufacturers are. And with tech like the cooling, which again, pushing 200 plus watts of TDP, or having these great displays, or the hyper chambers, like there's good stuff that they're doing here. And again, I wanna give a shout out to the AI chips because they deliver actual performance, not just buzzwords, not just marketing nonsense. It's, to me, and obviously I'm biased, but to me, it's kind of hard to not respect what they're delivering right now. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also big thank you to the Lenovo Legion team and Intel for sponsoring this video. You can check out both the Legion 7i and the Pro 7i in the description. And until next time, my friends, may your RGB be bright, your frames be high, and your lap not be on fire. From your laptop, of course.